And here we are again. Now, something weird that happens between missions in the Normandy is that every now and then, after you've completed a plot mission, new codex entries that you can collect around the ship will appear. I'm not sure why you couldn't just check the heat load monitor before. Actually, I might have missed that one. You might have been able to check that before. I don't know. It's hard to keep track of.
Who's dropping floppy disks all around the ship?
Who left a floppy disk on the heat load monitor? Why do we still have floppy disks?
Better question. Why do we still have floppy disks?
It is the year of our Lord 2168. These things should have degraded by now.
They still control our nuclear warheads.
Well, nuclear warheads still exist. We're gonna use one during this game. So yeah.
So that's why we have the floppy disk.
Oh, so what? It's like one of those instances where old technology beats out the new one, so we end the series by driving a Cadillac into a supernova.
John, this is a Western RPG, not a JRPG, all right? Would you really think that trope would apply here, too? The answer is yes.
I don't know. Ancient technology is always more advanced than current one.
Yeah, so ancient technology in this game's case would be a 50s Cadillac.
Well, the ancient technology in this case is the mass relay we just flew through. So yeah.
You say it's a Western RPG, but there is an anime for Mass Effect, so...
Yeah, there is.
God.
What?
Oh, God. There's also by shoujo statues of all the female characters, because why the fuck not?
Hey, Nomura made statues from Batman.
It's so strange, too. It's so strange to look at them, because this game has such a down-to-earth, realistic style, and then suddenly just anime in physically illogical poses.
Also, in Final Fantasy 13-2, there's DLC where you can wear Commander Shepard's outfit.
Yeah, there is. There's a Commander Shepard outfit for both characters, even. It's so bizarre. And, oh man.
A Final Fantasy game with Mass Effect armor.
Better or worse than that pop star whoever's in whatever mobile game that is?
Are we talking about Gact?
Genesis.
They're like the real life pop star. That's
you mean Ariana Grande? She's in 15.
Yeah.
Like, just straight up in the game.
But there's also... Gact, you say that, but he's a real-life pop star. Genesis was modeled after him in Dirge of Cerberus, and he still voiced the character in Crisis Core, the Japanese version. It's so surreal.
And as we all know, Genesis is everybody's favorite extended Final Fantasy VII character, right?
I remember when he was first introduced in Dirge of Cerberus, he had this really thick, was it German or Russian accent?
It was because his English voice actor was doing his best impression of goddamn Count Dracula.
I was gonna say, he sounded so much like he was from Transylvania.
Yeah, and then they completely dropped it by Crisis Core.
Thank God.
I don't know. I would have liked to see it.
I would love to see Bela Lugosi Vincent in other games.
Now, I was reading Mass Effect fanfiction yesterday.
Why?
To get myself back into the mindset of Mass Effect. It was a good one. It was written by an engineer, and one of the things that engineer said was that the inside of the Normandy made no sense when you consider the outside. The inside of the ship is apparently too goddamn small.
Well,
I don't know about that.
There could just be empty space somewhere. Like, that's...
But why would you make empty space on a ship?
Not empty space, but probably just shield generators and whatnot.
Yeah, well, space you can't go to, I guess, is probably... Like, that's a thing in a lot of games where you have buildings where the inside... That's a thing in Pokemon where the outside of the building might be, like, 10 by 10 blocks, but the inside is gigantic. Like, the Silph Co. The Silph Co. is way bigger on the inside than it is on the outside.
Normally in JRPGs, it's the other way around. The buildings are bigger on the inside, like a TARDIS.
Oh, that's what I meant. Sorry. Actually, Dragon Quest. There's a couple of games that try to be really good about that, because I know that the Dragon Quest series, for the old games, the inside of the buildings were actually rendered at the same time when you went in. Not rendered, but like if you went in, the screen would fade and you'd see the inside of the house instead of the outside, so it actually was the size of the house outside and inside. So that was cool. But stuff like Final Fantasy, where they
Now,
just go to a new
hold that
screen,
thought.
is different.
This bugs me. This bugs the crap out of me. Okay, Liara Tassoni has the electronics ability, and it says in the description that it should be usable to hack open stuff. But Liara can't hack stuff. She can't hack open stuff. I don't know if I don't know if that was fixed in the PC version, but yeah.
Depends on your definition of hacking.
She gets the overload ability, but none of the other benefits of having the electronics skill points. So yeah, don't take her along as a substitute for a hacker, because it just doesn't happen. And well, they're consistent with that because she never shows the ability to hack anything in any of her future appearances either. So it's just her having a tech ability because she's a scientist. Oh God, Mikhailovich, I hate this guy.
Rear Admiral.
Okay, one of the best reasons to save the council at the end of this game is that this guy dies in the attempt. This asshole is the stereotypical military tech gung-ho guy. He wants the biggest ships and the biggest guns, and his entire thing is him complaining and griping about how much money was spent making nice with the Turians by building the Normandy for all of its experimental stealth stuff. And the only way to come out of this nicely, whether you're Paragon or Renegade, is to either convince this guy that you mean business and it doesn't matter whether the ship is useless, you'll make the best use out of it, or to sort of play devil's advocate with him and get him to think, okay, maybe it's not completely bad, but a heavy cruiser still would have been better.
So what you're saying is he has a really small dick.
Yeah. Okay, like I'm sure he's totally respectable when the shit hits the fan and he does his job really well, but I still hate the guy.
Well, come on, you can't blame him. He's a rear admiral. He's a butt mongrel by it's by job.
Hell, my first name is Rear, middle name Admiral.
Yeah. Oh wait, that's your whole name?
Well, to be fair, he's got a really important job because the military's doctrine, the Alliance military's doctrine really wants his battles to be won before anyone fights on the ground, if possible. So the Navy is the backbone of everything. The thing though is that the entire game is based around ground combat, so yeah, that doesn't really pan out a whole lot.
Is there any space combat in Mass Effect, like at all?
No.
None?
Occasionally you get, well, apart from the vehicle sections in this game and the Hammerhead in the second game, which is a rare DLC-based mission, you don't ever fight in spaceships. You see the Normandy fight during cutscenes, but there's no playable space combat.
Point for Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
Oh, he's racist too.
Humans have been part of the galactic community for like 30 years. Most of them still are. Well, if there's one good thing, it's that they've stopped being racist toward each other and just started being racist toward aliens.
Progress is progress.
All you need is a different thing to hate.
All you need is a big distraction with mandibles on its face and you're good.
All we need is an alien invasion for world peace.
Pretty much. That's how fiction usually goes.
Oh, man.
You know, I honestly still don't believe Watchmen for that. It's just like, oh, if we put a giant squid in Manhattan, everybody will get along. I believe that plan is very, very flawed. I don't think it would work.
They'll get along for 10 minutes.
They'll get along until the threat's over, which, at least it's something.
Yeah, but what would more likely happen nowadays if that were to take place is there'd be like a hashtag movement for a month. And then
in entertainment, Francis Kitt has announced plans to direct Hamlet with a Elcor cast. This is a running gag, and it comes back gloriously in Mass Effect 2. The Elcor are the big hulking things that speak in monotone.
Oh, I would love to see that.
There's a commercial with excerpts from it in Mass Effect 2.
It would be about as energetic as any high school play of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you want to see it, go to your middle school performance.
No, but you see, they talk it up like it's some really deep thing, like some really great way to show the L Core, to show the depth of the play, because the L Core speak through like scents and like aromas, body aromas and stuff on top of their voices. The problem with that is only other L Core can, detect that shit, which is why they learned to talk at all. So
what you're saying is it's Hamlet in smell-o-vision.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly that. Now, this is Talisa Bensine El Jelani, and she is another running element / running gag in the series. You always have the option to punch her lights out. Always.
Oh, so does she report for Space Fox News?
Yeah, basically.
Awesome.
Pretty much.
Good to know the media hasn't advanced in 150 years.
Well, you could look on the bright side. Fox News is recruiting Arabs, which means we've really progressed. But on the other hand, she's really, really insufferable, and you kind of have to cut through the bullshit with her, which means that your Paragon and Renegade persuasion abilities need to do all the talking.
But you just said our fist could do the talking.
Is there any reason why we can't see her right now, or
Gonna set up like an interview.
Oh.
Yeah. This is what the camera is focused on.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Standard 3/4 headshot.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you talk to Talisa in this game, you'll always get a message from Admiral Hackett when you get back about how it went and how it was received. It'll happen the moment you talk to the galaxy map in the Normandy. That happens a lot. Sometimes you'll just look at the galaxy map and Hackett will contact you.
Sorry, the council doesn't have a publicist?
Well, she kind of ambushed you on your way out of the spaceport, so...
Do you punch her in the face?
Hi, Conrad.
No.
Aww. Okay.
No. I'm a Paragon.
Okay, so wait, now here's my question. If you punch her in the face, will she continue to try to interview you in later games?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And
But she remembers in Mass Effect 3 that you punched her, and she'll dodge your first punch.
So just punch her again.
I like how he just sort of popped out of his salute animation there.
Dude, what's wrong with your face?
He's Conrad Werner. Everything is wrong with his face.
what does Duke Nukem want here?
Conrad reappears basically after every plot mission, and if you come back here and talk with him, he'll have a new request for you. And you can either, call him an idiot every time you see him, or you can humor him. Either way, your goal is to talk to him all 3 times. I think 3 times, maybe 4, and at the end of it, use one of your persuasion skills to get him to stop trying to become a Spectre, because he's an idiot and he's gonna get himself killed one of these days.
So you gotta get some corrective eye surgery first, because your eyes are literally bugging me the hell out.
You probably don't remember me, but
I would also say get some plastic surgery, but your face is already plastic.
This is a side quest that only appears if you picked the Earthborn background story. The thing about Shepard is when you create him or her, you get to pick out of one of 3 backgrounds and one of 3 military service records. Depending on what you picked, you'll get one of 3 background missions for Shepard that deal with the backstory that you chose. There are also 3 missions during the course of the game that tie into the military service records, although those will always trigger all 3 of them if you go to the correct planet. The only difference that happens there is that if you're part of that background story, you can take a more personal approach to the mission and get a little bit more character development for your personal Shepard out of it. I'm not going to do all 3 of those. I'm only going to do the one that ties into this particular Shepard, because going through all of the side quests in this game is a pain in the ass. Have I said that enough times over the course of this playthrough for everyone to get it?
Yes.
I think I might have. Anyway, Finch here is with the 10th Street Reds. I think it's 10th Street. I know he's called the Reds. He's your gang from when you were a delinquent on Earth.
I was going to say, is he from Cincinnati?
I don't know. I don't think that's ever said. Anyway, yeah, he wants you to get one of the 10th Street Reds away from CSEC here, to use your Spectre authority to stop the arrest. The thing is, the 10th Street Reds have graduated from being a petty gang to being a human supremacy group. So basically, while we weren't looking, our old gang turned into the KKK.
Space KKK.
Don't you just hate when that happens? You know, you grow up in the Boy Scouts, you're really proud of what you did there, you know, you turn your back for 5 minutes, and suddenly they're a bunch of racist assholes.
Now, this is the kind of character my shepherd is. She makes it nice to Finch, says that she says all pleasant like that she'll do what he asks. Then she walks up to the guard and tells him exactly what happened.
You snitch.
But Finch, are you sure
no
you want to
tattling.
Finch, are you sure you want to have this conversation in front of a police officer? Are you sure you want to? Are you sure you want to have this conversation in front of a police officer?
That's what they're trying. Just shoot him. It's like, fuck you.
They don't know that the Reds target aliens specifically.
Well, not back then.
They didn't back then. That's on my record too. What have you got on me? Come on. You're gonna have to try harder if you want to play ball. Now, that was an example down there of something that really bugs me about the Mass Effect dialogue system. Finch's needs. What does that mean? What am I going to say if I select that? And it's really annoying in Mass Effect 2 when a similar option to that comes up. There's an option when you're talking to Liara Tassoni, Liara's needs. If you ask her that, she basically shuts down the conversation completely, and you can't ask about the other things.
Because... So you... What?
Yeah, it's annoying.
This is humanity's chance to prove itself.
Can we do this somewhere other than the strip club?
You want someone who's in bed with your kind.
We need the other races, Finch. That's the best way to straighten.
Man, that was epic foreshadowing there.
Fine, Shepard.
Um,
You're right. You're not
wow.
one of the Reds.
Okay.
You never were.
I much prefer the Pirates over the Reds.
That man is a xenophobe. Blackmail a Spectre. You should have killed him.
This guy gets it.
That's not the way I work.
Violence does usually solve a lot of problems.
To see what kind of Spectre
You can just shoot him in cold blood and no one will complain.
So why not do it then?
Yeah, that's the perk of being a Spectre. You basically, you're completely above the law. You can gun down anyone.
Oh, I have a license to kill then.
Yeah, you do have a license to kill.
Awesome.
Like, yeah. The other thing about that though is that in theory, and it'll never happen to you, but in theory, if a Spectre gets too out of line, they will get booted from the ranks like Saren did. But
I'm just wondering, does the game let you, like, pull out your weapons in civilian areas and just shoot people at random?
No, it does not. If you pull out your gun and point it at a civilian, your character will hold their gun up toward the ceiling.
Oh, okay. Because I know some games let you do that. Like, I believe even in Knights of the Old Republic, I think you can even kill random people.
Yeah, and BioWare has let you do that in the Baldur's Gate series as well. But I don't recommend doing it because if you do it enough, bounty hunters will spawn in at random everywhere you go.
Look at that, another Rear Admiral. That's a popular name those days.
Oh, man. Future humanity has weird taste in baby names.
Well, not that present humanity has any less weird tastes, you know. It's all a matter of perspective, really.
What about that military man who legally changed his name to Optimus Prime? That was something.
Celebrations are being planned for the anniversary of the end of the Rachni Wars.
Ah.
Oh wait, I can't wait to catch season 3.
Should I tell them that the Rachni are still alive?
So you're saying is George R. R. Martin didn't write this?
Great. Yeah, we sterilized their species, but...
Oh, that was the war where all of the... whatever those guys, Krogan women died?
No, they didn't die. They basically, the entire species' home world was infected with a virus that lowered their childbirth viability to about 1,000th of what it was.
Oh, okay.
Now we'll learn a whole lot more about the rationale behind that move in Mass Effect 2. Basically, all we need to know for the perspective for the purposes of this game is that it gives Saren a means of manipulating the Krogan into serving him.
So, spoiler alert, I guess Saren has more to do with this than we thought.
No, Saren has absolutely nothing to do with it. He just used the fact of the genophage as a means of getting a bunch of Krogan on his side.
Ah.
Yeah.